August 2010. In a quiet flat in London's Pimlico district, a grisly discovery stunned investigators. A 31-year-old GCHQ codebreaker on secondment to MI6, Gareth Williams, was found padlocked inside a bright red sports bag in his bathtub. His body had been nude and decomposing, and chillingly, the keys to the bag were found inside the bag, beneath his body. In short, a top-secret analyst lay dead alone in a locked holdall, and he had been missing for days before anyone noticed. How could a man lock himself into a bag? Or did someone else put him there? This is the unsolved enigma of the MI6 spy in the bag. Gareth Williams was no ordinary civil servant. Born in 1978 in Anglesey, Wales, he was a mathematical prodigy who accelerated through school and university. He left secondary school at age 15 and earned a first-class degree in mathematics by 17. He later completed a PhD at Manchester and joined Britain's Signals Intelligence Agency, GCHQ, in 2001. Colleagues described Williams as intensely private, a keen cyclist who rarely socialized, but undeniably brilliant. His former teacher fondly recalled, "He was the best logician and the pupil with the fastest brain I have ever met." In 2009, he was seconded from GCHQ to MI6, the UK's secret intelligence service, to work in London. To the outside world, he was a mild-mannered young man. To the spy agencies, a highly talented analyst. In the summer of 2010, Williams was on annual leave from MI6. On the 11th of August 2010, he returned to Britain from a holiday road trip along the US West Coast. 4 days later, on the 15th of August 2010, CCTV cameras at Harrods department store in London captured him shopping in Knightsbridge. After that day, he vanished from public view. Colleagues could not reach him by phone or email, and he failed to show up for work in the following days. By 23rd August 2010, a week later, friends and co-workers had grown alarmed and reported him missing. London police were asked to perform a welfare check. On the afternoon of Monday, 23rd August 2010, around 4:48 p.m., officers forced entry into Williams's Pimlico flat. Inside the master bedroom's ensuite bathroom lay Williams's naked, decomposed body, curled in a fetal position inside that bright red duffel bag. The bag was padlocked. The Yale-style padlock had 2 keys, and both keys were found underneath his body inside the locked bag. The rest of the bathroom and flat showed no signs of a struggle or forensic cleaning, an eerily calm scene. Detective Chief Inspector Jackie Sabire later testified, "In my opinion, his face was very calm. There's no injuries," and noted the bag's zips showed no damage or tearing. From the outset, detectives could not explain how Williams ended up in the bag. Police initially told the media it would have been impossible for him to climb into and lock the holdall by himself. As the investigation unfolded, the flat yielded curious personal items. Investigators found women's wigs, makeup, and dozens of unworn women's outfits and shoes, about 20,000 pounds worth among his belongings. There was even a bright orange wig draped on a chair and female clothing neatly arranged in the spare bedroom. Some reports noted he had visited London gay bars and accessed adult fetish websites shortly before his death. For many, these details sparked wild speculation. Was this an accidental autoerotic scenario, a targeted hit, or something else entirely? At the same time, Williams's intelligence career sparked conspiracy theories. He had worked on cutting-edge cybersecurity and had reportedly helped the US NSA with money laundering investigations. However, police and sources close to the inquiry downplayed any espionage motive. One source told The Guardian that suggestions of foreign agents or terrorism were pretty low down the list of probabilities. Meanwhile, Williams's family was engulfed in grief and confusion when lurid rumors surfaced in the press linking him to a male escort or bondage. His mother's cousin, William Hughes, angrily dismissed them. "I don't see any evidence of it. It never crossed my mind that Gareth was that sort of person," he said. "When you have these rumors, it is heartbreaking. Gareth's parents are not doing well at all. They are in a state of shock." The family spokesman added that such stories only compounded their pain. Two years later, an inquest was held before Coroner Fiona Wilcox in Westminster. In April 2012, media galleries filled the courtroom as disturbing evidence and testimony emerged. Key revelations included toxicology results and timeline facts. Traces of a party drug, GHB, were found in Williams's blood. Though pathologist Denise Stanworth cautioned they might have resulted after death because up to 9 days had passed, we cannot rule out volatile agents. The inquest confirmed the bath was empty except for the bag. A third-party DNA was found on the bag, but no foreign fingerprints on the padlock or bath rim. Crucially, the coroner heard that MI6 had waited 7 days before reporting Williams missing, hampering the investigation. At the hearing, an MI6 official, anonymized as Witness F, made an extraordinary apology on behalf of the agency. He stated, "We are profoundly sorry about what happened. It shouldn't have happened, and the delay in finding Gareth's body has made it even harder for the family to come to terms with his dreadful death, and we are truly sorry for that." The MI6 representative insisted internal inquiries found no evidence of any specific threat to Gareth, and no reason to think his death was anything to do with his work. But the coroner was scathing of the response. Fiona Wilcox ruled Williams's death was unnatural and likely to have been criminally mediated, a legal finding that implies homicide. She heavily criticized MI6 for negligence and the Met's counter-terrorism unit for mishandling evidence, not sharing memory sticks until late in the inquest. Anthony O'Toole QC, representing Williams's family, accused MI6 of a total disregard for Gareth's whereabouts and safety, arguing the delays destroyed forensic evidence and robbed the family of the chance to say goodbye. D.C.I. Sabire told the court, "The heart of the case is whether Gareth locked himself in the bag or whether somebody locked him in." She admitted she was keeping an open mind, but from the evidence, it has been my opinion from an early stage that a third party was involved in padlocking the bag. By the end of the inquest, the picture was clear. The coroner believed someone else had locked the bag, whereas MI6 was contrite, but denied culpability. The verdict left open questions of who else might have been in that flat with Gareth Williams. The coroner even stated it remained legitimate to investigate whether someone from MI6 could have been involved. Williams's family insisted they wanted full accountability. After the inquest, they appealed to new Met Commissioner Bernard Hogan Howe for a fresh review. Responding to the outcry, Met Commissioner Bernard Hogan Howe ordered a re-examination of the case. In May 2012, he publicly warned MI6 that they don't have to sign up to it. It's called the law, when insisting MI6 staff must cooperate with homicide detectives. Hogan Howe launched an internal review and even suggested new DNA testing of MI6 employees. He emphasized investigators needed to establish that if there was someone present, how he contacted that person and what relationship they had. Yet he also conceded, it may well be that Gareth Williams's death has nothing to do with his employment. We need to make sure all areas of his life were fully explored. Over the next 3 years, detectives interviewed dozens of MI6 and GCHQ colleagues without the usual counterterrorism intermediaries and rechecked forensic evidence with a private lab. Finally, on the 13th of November 2013, the Metropolitan Police publicly revealed the outcome. They no longer believed it was murder. In a press conference, Deputy Assistant Commissioner Martin Hewitt announced that Williams probably locked himself in the holdall and died from suffocation as a tragic accident. In other words, police said the preponderance of evidence pointed to suicide or accidental death, despite the earlier inquest verdict. They noted that Williams's keys were inside the bag. There was no sign of forced entry or third-party DNA in the flat, and that expert tests showed it was physically possible for him to climb into the bag alone. Hewitt cautioned, however, that they cannot fundamentally and beyond doubt rule out someone else's involvement. He admitted insufficient evidence existed to be completely sure of how he died. The police found no fingerprints on the padlock or bath rim, and several unidentified DNA fragments remained unexplained. In a carefully worded statement, Gareth's family expressed disappointment at the police conclusion. They said they agreed with the coroner that Williams was most likely killed unlawfully and lamented that the circumstances of his death were still unknown. To this day, the Gareth Williams case remains a haunting mystery. Officially, it is classified as an open case. The death certificate ruled his death unlawful but undetermined, and no one was ever charged. Journalists and amateur sleuths continue to pore over the evidence, debating whether it was an elaborate suicide gone wrong, a BDSM accident, or a homicide cover-up. Multiple documentaries have revisited the story, highlighting unanswered questions. Why did MI6 delay reporting him missing? Who used the computer after he disappeared? Was there video surveillance that was overlooked? What is certain is that Williams's death left a legacy of procedural reforms. MI6 publicly apologized, and police protocols for dealing with missing intelligence officers were changed. As one senior MI6 official put it, "We recognize the delay in finding his body has made it even harder for the family to come to terms with his dreadful death. But the last word belongs to the mystery itself, the locked bag in the bath. In the shadowy world of espionage, some questions may never be answered. Gareth Williams's story remains a cautionary tale about secrets, both personal and national.